Yep.
Okay. Welcome to Mod 11 Video Land, and the mod is called Waves. And so we'll be studying light waves and sound waves. So let's see what a wave is. In your notes, would you write down the definition, and as you go about writing that definition, I would like you to think of synonyms for the word disturbance, propagates, and medium. If you don't know one of those words, that's okay, because we're going to give you a synonym, a word that you do know that is almost like it. So write down the definition and be thinking, what's another word for disturbance? Or even a phrase. What's another word for propagates? What's another word for medium? Just write it as it is. That's the formal definition for a wave. And probably in some grade, maybe in that course called physical science or physical world, you probably studied waves. I know sort of on a 4th, 5th grade level, I know at least back then you studied waves. So probably the introductory stuff from today will look familiar. So, all right. What is a word that, or a phrase that could also be called disturbance? Can you think of anything, MM?
Interruption.
All right, an interruption. Interruption. Is there 2 R's? Interruption. Just like that. Interruption. My spelling on the board is like 50% weaker than my spelling on a paper. Now explain that. All right. Another synonym, anybody, for interruption or disturbance. What's another word?
Displacement.
Or phrase?
Displacement.
What was it?
Displacement.
Displacement. Okay. That's pretty close.
Oh, I think.
All right. If you think of anything else, let me know, because I would like even more. Disturbance. A messing up. Messing up. A disturbance.
We can
You
look
could
it
use a
up.
phrase. You could use a phrase. That's a pretty weak one. A messing up. A disturbance. So imagine a pan of water and I disturb it. So what's another word for that? All right, that's pretty good. Propagates. Anyone familiar with that word? Fancy word for goes.
Can you say like travels?
Goes, travels. So we're not going to use words like that in our definition, but just for an idea what it means, goes or travels, moves. Get the idea with those right away. And medium, not the kind you consult for your future, but a different kind of medium. Do you think of what's a thing? A thing, right? We're getting down to basics here. A thing, it goes through a thing. What else could we say for medium? You think of any other word about
Substance.
substance?
Yeah, like substance or material.
Material. I like that one. Stuff.
Wait, medium? I thought medium was like medium, like small, large kind of thing.
Yeah, not that good.
Oh, so, okay. I was like, there's no replacement for medium.
Medium
So mention maybe? I don't know.
is a substance. It's a substance. That's probably the best word. All right, so I would like you, when I call on you, to read the definition for waves. I'll read it the original way, and you read it putting in a synonym. So, a wave is a disturbance that propagates through a medium. All right, Brian, would you read it again with some synonyms in it?
Displacement that travels through a certain substance.
Good. All right. Alex, try another combination other than what you've heard so far. A wave is?
Wave.
So just read it again, but put in one of the synonyms.
So just, okay. A wave is
So when you're reading it, when you get to here, use one of these words instead. And when you get to here, use one of
Did you
these.
see it messing up already or no?
Yep.
Okay, the wave is messing up.
Alright, you can tell that was my one. Go ahead.
That moves
Right.
through a material.
Alright, very good. A wave is a messing up that moves through a material. Alright, one more. How about you, Zach?
A wave is a interruption that moves through a material.
Through what?
Through a material.
Okay. Alright, very good. So you get the idea of what these words are. We're not going to use these simple words. We're going to use these words for our definition. But now we know exactly what we're talking about. Let's go ahead then and look at a wave. So if you would draw a wave, some waves like that. And from your past experience in waves, do you recall what the top of the wave was called? Right there. From your, not past with me, but your deep, bright science past.
Is it the crest?
It is, very good. All right, does that sound familiar? All right, what is the low part? What's the low part when you studied in the past?
Something different.
You don't remember?
I knew crest. I don't know.
Crest. Brian, you remember the bottom? The top is the crest.
You guys
Kevin, you recall from your
Oh.
past science life? In this life, I mean. It is the trough. The trough.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, can't forget about that.
You don't remember crest and trough?
I remember
I
crest.
remember those.
Vaguely.
I heard all about them.
Alright.
It was a defect in that.
If we cut the wave in half, the distance from a crest to that halfway point, I haven't heard it called equilibrium for a wave. I could be wrong about that, but that halfway point to the crest or the halfway point to the trough has a name, and it will not surprise you. You want to guess at it, MD? Amplitude. You've seen that in math class, and you've seen it in our study of periodic motion, so amplitude. And the only other thing I can think of right now is the distance from, say, crest to crest. You probably remember that. What's that called? The distance from crest to crest.
That's a period?
It is not the period. It's related to the period, but that distance, period is a time, so we're looking for a distance.
Oh, I
Do you know what it is, Zach?
feel like I should, but I
Okay.
can't think of it.
I thought I heard you murmuring it.
Uh,
Remember the distance from crest to crest? It also could be trough to trough or similar point to similar point. So all of those are the wavelength.
Oh.
Wavelength. It has a symbol, and it's this. Is this lambda?
Lambda.
Lambda?
Lambda.
Lambda, okay. So when I say lambda, you know I'm from Baltimore. All right. All right, our next definition is how many waves. I don't have to, there's no big fancy words in here. I should finish it every second. All right, so write down the next definition. See if you can fill in the blank from your past experience with waves. How many waves hit a given point every second? So as these waves travel across, they're hitting one point at a certain blank. It starts with an FR. Any guesses on what that is? Frequency? Yeah, frequency. Frequency is how many waves hit a certain point in a second. All right. Starting to feel sick because we haven't had a formula yet, so I'm fanning myself, so I need to give you a formula. So the formula is frequency F equals velocity divided by lambda. So we have that relationship. F is for frequency, V is for velocity, and lambda is wavelength. Those are these three interrelate. Let's talk about units. What would be the unit for frequency? So what's a typical velocity unit, MK?
Meters per second.
Meters per second. What would lambda be in wavelength, since it is a length, MK?
Meters?
Meters. So, mathematicians, I'll write meters as meters over 1. Simplify. Here, simplify. Meters over seconds divided by meters. Simplify.
Wait, what is that? That looks like Chinese, like some Mandarin.
Is it Greek?
Greek.
That was
Well,
close to something
It's
before.
like a Y upside down.
kind of curvy Y upside down.
Oh, wait, how do you write that? Dash and okay.
It's red lambda.
Upside down Y. Okay.
Draw the upside down V and add it.
Lambda.
It is the symbol for wavelength, so sometimes they use Greek letters. So, mathematicians, simplify. When you take a fraction divided by a fraction, remember the algorithm. What does it simplify to, MM?
Seconds.
Right, what?
Seconds.
Well, seconds involved, but where is the seconds? Because we got meters.
Okay, it's one
What?
over.
1 over seconds, so when I flip the bottom and multiply,
Right there.
I get 1 over seconds, which is, we've had this before.
Oh.
What did we call 1 over seconds before? It was, we were doing frequency when we were going uniform circular motion.
I knew it. I can't think of
We
it.
renamed 1 over seconds, so we didn't have to say it all the time.
Hertz?
I was
What?
gonna say, is it Hertz?
Hertz. Did you say hertz? Hertz. That hurts if nobody knows hertz. But it didn't hurt because she knew it. Alright, hertz is the unit that we have named 1 over seconds. It is the unit for frequency of a wave. So, I was wondering, and I'm sure you were wondering, how does frequency relate to wavelength? What's the relationship between those? Mathematically, you can tell because one is in the numerator and one's in the denominator. So, from that, can you tell me, when frequency goes up, what must, same velocity stays the same, what must lambda do? Show me with your thumbs. When frequency goes up, what does lambda do? Alright, goes down. So they have this relationship. So as frequency goes down, the length of the wave goes up. What's that relationship called in mathematics? When one goes up and the other goes down. What's that called? And then we better shut down this portion. I haven't been watching the time. But what's that called? Reverse. What was that? Reverse. The word verse, I'll take that much.
Converse. Versely. Oh yeah, bro. I think we're for me to film that word, and I didn't know what that word
She
even
gave
meant.
me the verse. She said reverse. But it is
Proportionate.
inversely proportional.
You're close.
Which means as one goes up, the other goes down. Sort of like as the amount of, I can never do inverse, and there's 1,000 examples. In life, and I can never think of in one spot. What's something in life as one goes up the, like, I can think of a lot of direct proportional as study hours go
Like
up,
a
grades
weight.
go up. What?
Like a weight on a pulley system.
What does?
I need to
Like a weight
that'd be the
on a
funniest
pulley
pretzel
system.
ever.
Yeah, that's true. As one goes up, the other goes down.
Seesaw.
Seesaw. I'm trying to think of like two variables, like as calories go up, something else goes down. But